Boys, today's tomorrow, and Jack Doherty, of course, is in the news again. And he's been having one hell of a run this year, seeing that he went from being a almost not really cared about person to someone that got into multiple controversies, his bodyguard punching a person last year, him getting slapped around by Fuzzy Tube, the Island Boys, and many other people, to this year he's crashed his McLaren. And then he psychopathically didn't even care about his friend bleeding out of his head and forced him to continue filming him. So yeah, Jack Doherty obviously got banned on Kick for that. And seeing that, Jack Doherty really didn't do too much on Twitch, he's on Twitch now. So obviously on Twitch, Jack Doherty continues his antics. But the thing about it is, unlike Kick, Twitch actually has some measures against false viewership. And one of the big things that you can point out to say, hey, that man faking viewership over there, is obviously the chat. Because obviously if you get a certain amount of viewership, don't get me wrong, there's going to be some lurkers, but there's also going to be some very active chatters.
Okay, Jack Doherty with the views. Look at robot views. Okay, let's see Stable Ronaldo. Okay, let's see. Oh, whoa.
Now, obviously, Jack Doherty can't just take his L of knowing switching platforms is hard, right? It's hard switching platforms for anybody, any content creator, let alone a streamer. It's really hard for streamers to switch platforms because you lose a decent chunk of your viewership to a platform, right? Switching from like YouTube to Twitch is about damn near impossible, all right? You can't just start streaming on YouTube and then go over to Twitch and be like, hey, you guys, come on, follow me over. They're usually gonna be like, I like YouTube better, or I like Twitch better. But honestly, with people like Jack Doherty, they can't take reality being, so cruel to them. And instead of them realizing that some people just don't want to watch you, and some people just don't want to switch platforms, they decide, you know what? I think it's time to start paying a couple $100 to a couple $1,000 for the number on my live stream to go up. And yes, people do pay a couple $100 to a couple $1,000 for some fake numbers. Now, obviously, if this works out for you, if you're like a small unknown streamer, this could do, pretty great for you, all right? You could probably, shoot up to the top of a directory and actually get your name out there. It could be lucrative for you. But for people that are as infamous as Jack Doherty, people aren't watching you for a reason, all right? You faking your viewership does not help you at all. If someone sees Jack Doherty, they're going to be like, oh, obviously skipping that. I'll get the cliff notes on Twitter about what he did that day. But yeah, it's pretty sad to see someone like Jack Doherty try his best to stay relevant or famous, seeing that he's neither relevant or really famous. He's more infamous than anything, seeing that people know of him. He's basically like Johnny Somali. There we go. That's basically what he is. People know of him, they don't view him, other than, the people that want to make fun of him. And it's quite sad to see someone in this state thinking that all press is good press, even though whenever it comes down to reality, not really seeing that he's probably not making any money off of YouTube, or barely anything off of YouTube, because a lot of his videos are probably demonetized for, obviously, sexual behavior, and they're seeing that that's where he promotes his OF girls. So the man's probably not making much off of YouTube. He's has to make sure that these OF girls stay somewhat happy, because if they don't, then they probably could easily get out of these contracts just by saying, I was drunk and he took me on a boat whenever I was underage to sign this contract to do OF for him. They probably have like the easiest slam dunk case if they don't want to be working with Jack Doherty anymore. But obviously they probably do want to continue working with him, because at the end of the day, he does have a very young audience, and quite a bit of them too. So it's easier for them to sell their content to those people, because, the brains are not as developed. They don't know what real women look like. But yeah, it's quite sad to see Jack Doherty go down this hill of basically becoming more and more infamous and losing more and more platforms for him to post on, because this man was doing this since he was a literal child. If he had to get a real job today, right, he lost all of his money, the man would rather die. I mean, he would probably commit seppuku. Then go to Walmart and fill out an application. We all know if Jack Doherty ever lost his money, he legit would be found dead at that point, as she crashing his car into a river instead of, a barrier. Somebody's hopes it will be a nice, sunny, clear day, no rain in sight. Let's all be honest here. Everyone will be celebrating. All right, it will be a parade in his city. But yeah, it is quite sad to see someone that has so much money because at this point, Jack Doherty doesn't have to do anything with his life, right? He can literally go on to be nobody and still be rich enough to not care anymore. But yet, for some reason, he'd rather waste hundreds, if not tens of thousands of dollars on fake viewership just to be exposed that he has no one in his chat. Like it makes no sense. Like this man is so rich. He always flaunts his wealth, right? Crashing his McLaren and everything. And yet, for some reason, the one thing that just crushes him every day is that no one cares about him, right? Because most people will go throughout their lives trying their best to get financial freedom. They could care less about someone caring about them, especially being famous. But Jack Doherty literally will give up all of his money if everyone in the world knew his name. If everyone just said his name one day, he would probably die happy. That is the saddest thing ever, that is what is on his mind most of the time, and not how do I keep my financial wealth forever. Like, it's so sad seeing that this man is out here spending money on fake viewership, spending money on all these cars, spending money on all these women, spending money on all these rappers that literally do nothing for him. All the stuff that he spends his money on does absolutely nothing for him. Who knows? Maybe he does have financial freedom and he can just do whatever he wants for the rest of his life. But this man is like starting to get into lawsuits because you guys know his bodyguard punched a guy in the face and that guy got hurt. He's also crashed his McLaren and then tried to get his house insurance, or actually not his house insurance, his renter's insurance to pay for his McLaren. Like, it is so brain dead how dumb this kid is, right? He got lucky on YouTube when he was younger doing just stupid stuff, right? He got the break of a lifetime, and instead of him growing up to be like, I don't know, a semi decent person, right? His parents are actually should be good parents and, you know, actually disciplining him whenever he needs to be disciplined. His parents allowed him to become this, and this is very much not what a human should be. Like, no one cares for Jack Doherty. Jack Doherty doesn't create anything that is good for the earth. Jack Doherty is literally a net negative to society in general. There is no ifs, ands, or buts about it. We all can agree. Jack Doherty's just a net negative. He does nothing to help anyone. He's so self-centered. He does any and everything to annoy people, thinking that, oh no, me annoying them, that's me being like nice to them, because like if I didn't like you, I just wouldn't annoy you at all. Whenever in general, no one wants to talk to this guy ever. Literally, this man pays $200,000 to rappers that literally would not get $200,000 for a show literally Rolling Loud or some of the biggest music festivals out there. But he pays it to these rappers to come hang out with him on his birthday. It's so sad. He has to pay his friends to come to his birthday. But yeah, he pays these rappers ridiculous amount of money that they would never see in their lives unless it was just like some oil baron that just wanted a nice concert for his family or something. Right? He pays them this amount of money to hang out with him on his birthday, and then they leave, and then he's like, hopefully they call me. I gave him my number, you guys. I'm like, who knows? Maybe I might do a collab with Polo G. Or Lil Baby. Like, these people don't care about you. And the sad part is he keeps trying to talk to them like they do care about him. It's quite sad to see someone so desperate for attention that literally has everything else anyone that would actually, you know, give him attention would want. He literally has everything in the world that he would want / need, but yet it's not enough. And it's never enough for people like Jack Doherty because he grew up thinking, I need more. And whenever he does get more, it's still not enough. He always needs more. His gluttony for fame is so disgusting. The man is one and the same as Hassan, who is basically taking down Twitch single-handedly with, you know, him being so racist, but, you know, the trust and safety team and the CEO really love themselves some Hassan, alright? That's their favorite streamer. They would rather nuke the whole website instead of banning Hassan, which at this point is exactly what they're doing. Click this video right here to find out how is Hassan ruining Twitch. But boys, other than that, don't really like, subscribe, comment down below, and I'll see you all tomorrow.